Jonathan Milan back there with none of his teammates around him. He's split from Consoni. Simone Consoni is in the middle of the shot. He would normally be leading out Jonathan Milan, but Milan is boxed in there alongside Laurens Pithy, right in the middle of the shot. You can just see it. This is quite messy, actually, coming into the finale. That final intermediate sprint has not helped get things in order. Caden Groves is there. He's more than capable of handling himself at the front end as well. Laurens Pithy has got himself into a good position in fourth as well. It is Emils Leopins leading up the left-hand side. Here comes Matthew Brennan. Look for Matthew Brennan in the yellow aero helmet. He's moved up quite comfortably by himself, and I think he now has Michael Zeilert on his wheel. How on earth Michael Zeilert got there, I don't know. There are riders moving up and down all the time. Søren Vanskov, the race leader, is quite a long way back at this stage. This is now inside the final kilometre. They go back under the railway line, and when they pop out the other side, goodness only knows who'll be in the lead. It's a lone attacker. It looks like the colours of Total Energies. This is Lorenzo Monzan. Lorenzo Monzan, the Frenchman, if I'm not mistaken, going clear. What a fantastic late attack from him. I was not expecting that, but he's going to be closed down. And Danny Van Poppel is ready to launch. Danny Van Poppel being led out by Jordi Meyers. Danny Van Poppel going, but Jonathan Milan has got to the front in time. Milan is leading. Jonathan Milan leading. Matthew Brennan alongside him. Who's going to get it on the dip? Between those two, Jonathan Milan looks like he's got it, but Matthew Brennan was right up alongside him. Danny Van Poppel there, I think, in third, but it will be between those two. Final 1,500 metres to go now. These three cannot afford to play tactics. They really can't. Søren Vanskov, I think, knows it. He's still on the front right now. At some point, they've got to sort the win out between them. But if they back off and start looking at each other, they're going to risk being caught by Jonathan Milan. And if Jonathan Milan gets within a sniff of them, he will go thundering straight past. And I don't think they'll have a chance to get on either. Where is he? Where is he? As we look back down the road back there, I don't think he's there. Riley Sheehan, Søren Vanskov and Jonathan Narvaez are looking like they're going to take on this final kilometre by themselves. Can they hang on? I did not think, and I know Jens did not think. I wonder how many of you thought we would have a final late breakaway from the bonification sprint point sort out to give us these three out front. There were rolling attacks going all the way over the top and beyond that bonification sprint point, and this is what we ended up with. Søren Vanskov flicked his elbow. I don't think they want to come through now. We're now down to cat and mouse tactics, and they've got to be careful, these three. They have not got much time to play around with. Marius Meyerhoff is chasing, and Jonathan Milan. Don't be surprised to see a Lidl Trek jersey coming up alongside them and thundering straight past, because I think Milan is within catching distance here. Søren Vanskov, winner of the prologue, is stuck on the front. Jonathan Narvaez is in a prime position here, but what can Riley Sheehan, the American for Israel Premier Tech, do at the back? He is quick, but I think he needs to go early and get the jump on these two. If I was him, I would lay off and rush the gap. What is the young American going to do, though? In the Israel Premier Tech colours, here he goes. But it's not a lightning quick attack. I've got a nasty feeling for Sheehan that he might be leading out Narvaez here. What has Narvaez got left? I think it's going to be just enough on the line, or is it? Is it? He celebrated too soon! Wout van Aert comes back to the front. Now this should be to try and now do the long drive for Matthew Brennan to the finish. 2 kilometres to go right now. We have Wout van Aert on the front. We have been told by his team, his sports director, that Wout van Aert is here to work for Matthew Brennan, teach him the rope, show him how to do things. I have to say right now, I know I'm a British commentator, ignore that. This is locked on for a Matthew Brennan stage win. I would suggest the only riders in here that can beat him are Jonathan Narvaez, Søren Vanskov, who's just been beaten in the intermediate sprint point anyway, and Danny Van Poppel maybe, who's moving up in that Dutch Champions jersey. Are we looking at a second stage win at the Wii for Matthew Brennan, the winningest rider in this field already? He'll know it, the pressure on him right now. He's a young rider though who just doesn't seem to feel the pressure. We don't see that on Brennan at all. They are so close now. 1,500 metres to go, and they'll start to ride into the gradual ramp that takes them up to the edge of the square here in Kassel. Wout van Aert's going to go deep here. He's got Søren Vanskov on his wheel. Now Vanskov is a long way up this group already. Marius Meyerhofer is back there. He has on his wheel the green jersey of Matthew Brennan. Oh, we've just lost a shot here for a moment. It's paused. Thankfully, we're going back to the shot at the back. It's Jörg Zimmermann still hanging on to the back end of this field. Florian Lipovic is still there with a number 11 on his back. He's going to stay out of trouble in the dark skies above them. Matthew Brennan has got Danny Van Poppel on his wheel. It's a small group, this. Hardly any lead-outs available for anyone. At the moment, it's Søren Vanskov following the back wheel of Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert can't really look back at this stage. He's got to keep this going. And yeah, Matthew Brennan is in good position. Jonathan Narvaez is moving up onto Brennan's wheel. We're not going to see any late attacks from here, I don't think. Sam Watson is up alongside Marius Meyerhoff. We're actually battling for the back wheel of, I think it might be Marco Haller there as well. We're inside the final kilometre now, into the gradually dragging road, and Wout van Aert is using his last little lift. Søren Vanskov gapping a little bit back to Marco Haller now. Marius Meyerhoff are having to hang on. This is a massive drive from Wout van Aert. Watch the back wheel of Søren Vanskov. It's closing back up. Sam Watson is coming. Here goes Vanskov. He's open for the line. Danny Van Poppel following. Where's the green jersey of Matthew Brennan? Brennan looking for the gap, but he can't find it. Danny Van Poppel's going to get this. Matthew Brennan with a hand in the air, but Danny Van Poppel getting the win that he threatened to get all week. Final 2.5 kilometres of the final stage of this year's 40th edition of the Lidl Deutschland Tour. It's been a brilliant week for the sprinters. We've had such unpredictable finishes. We've had early celebrations. We've had relegations. We've had the lot. Now we've had a crash in the closing stages, and we do not want any more of that in Magdeburg. Eyes in for a clear sprint, and to be honest, they're about to come onto the finishing straight here as well, because it's a long one. We've got Jonathan Milan ready to get revenge on Matthew Brennan, who pipped him by the slimmest of margins in Helfort on Thursday. He's out for revenge. Well, Danny Van Poppel, he is definitely out for revenge after being relegated yesterday. And right underneath all of them, you have Søren Vanskov in the blue jersey. Alexander Kristoff is gone. It's a real simple one now for him to deliver the race win, take the 10-second bonus, and win the stage. And here comes Soudal Quickstep on the outside. Pascal Encourt. It's Emils Leopins trying to move up as well. He's got Matteo Moschetti with him. Now, Moschetti's not been able to sprint properly this week, and he's got Emils Leopins, I think, as his only support rider, being brought up into position. 1,500 metres to go. It will not be long until we're under that bridge in the Flamme Rouge, Jens.
Yes, so you can see the sprinter trains fighting for position, fighting for speed. Right now, it looks like this Melissa bike is running a little bit out of power.
Well, it's such a wide road. They're down to 4 lanes there. Now back down to the 2. They funneled down. This is locked on for the finish. This is the final kilometre, the final stage of this year's Lidl Deutschland Tour. Who's going to get it? It looks like Danny Van Poppel has got the back wheel of one teammate. He's got one teammate there, and I think it might be Laurens Pithy. Laurens Pithy, the ideal man to bring him through. He's trying to up the outside. They do not want this Melita bike to be able to lead out Matthew Brennan perfectly. Soudal Quickstep doing what they can. It might be for Rakanyi, who had a fantastic sprint yesterday. Jonathan Milan moving up the outside. He's booking shoulders with, oh my goodness, Danny Van Poppel is down. So late on, Danny Van Poppel after the relegation yesterday, he's gone down. He was up against the outside of Jonathan Milan, and he shakes his head. He's gone just like that. Jonathan Milan now hanging on to the back wheel. We've started. It's Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert leads out. Laurens Pithy ready to go. Here we go. It's a replay of stage 1. Jonathan Milan on the right. Matthew Brennan on the left. Who's going to get it? Matthew Brennan gets another stage win, and yet another scalping Jonathan Milan for the 2nd time in a week. Some people said it might have been lucky when he did it on the streets of Hereford. There is nothing lucky about that.